State officials have now delayed 10-digit dialing here in southwestern Indiana. We'll tell you why. Plus, the Dubois County Emerging Leaders hosted their summer social last night, and Jasper Rotary Club President Terry Tanner talks about the upcoming Athena Award presentation tonight on Inform. All of that and much more is up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Hello, I'm Bradford Raths. We begin tonight with a Winslow man who murdered his ex-girlfriend last fall being sentenced. 33-year-old Christopher Morton will serve 80 years in prison for the October 2013 murder of Kelsey McDonald. Morton entered a guilty plea on that murder charge. Now, 65 years of the 80-year sentence are for the murder charge. The other 15 years are a habitual felon enhancement. Morton has previous felony convictions on burglary, theft, and domestic battery charges. Now, the shooting took place in the early morning hours of October 30th of last year. The incident occurred just 1 week after Morton had been released from prison following a conviction for battery on McDonald. Now, the plea agreement is final. Pike County Prosecutor Darren McDonald had pushed for it to be final in light of appeals filed by Chris Helsley and Kelly Craig years after each one had been sentenced. This case was presided over by Warwick County Circuit Court Judge Keith Meyer. Meyer presided over the case due to a conflict of interest with Pike County Circuit Court Judge Jeff Biesterfeld. Biesterfeld filed unrelated charges against Morton when he served as Pike County's prosecutor. A Pike County man was arrested early yesterday morning after a Jasper woman told police he was spying on her. Just after 6:30 a.m., Jasper police received a call from the woman. She told police that a man, later identified as 34-year-old Michael Webb of Otwell, was trying to look into the bedroom window at her home in the 3800 block of Manor Drive on Jasper's north side. Officers went to the area and a neighbor was able to point them in the direction Webb had fled on foot. Police were then able to find Webb and place him into custody. Webb was charged with a level 6 felony count of voyeurism. He was taken to and lodged in the Dubois County Security Center. State regulators have now delayed the start of mandatory 10-digit dialing here in southwestern Indiana. The required full number dialing was set to start on September 6th, but the Indiana Utility Regulatory Commission announced yesterday it was being delayed because some people said they weren't ready for the change. State regulatory officials say an alarm company in Evansville expressed concerns about being ready in time for the grace period to be over. They say the extended grace period will also help medical professionals, business owners, and others to be ready for the implementation of the 930 area code. Anthony Swinger is the Media Relations Director for the state's Office of Consumer Counselor. He says the extension is a good move.
Whenever you do put in a new area code, a 6-month transition period is normal to allow folks to get used to the change. Having said that, it's become obvious here that more than 6 months will be needed. And again, if it's delayed for a while to make sure that everything's done right, then that's the right approach to take.
Now, back in February, the Commission began to ask people to start using all 10 digits when dialing 812 area code numbers. The 6-month grace period formally began back on March 1st. The IURC says that the new overlaid 930 area code will still be added to the region and that its implementation is simply being delayed. Well, future planning is still a work in progress for Dubois County's library system. Last night, both the Dubois County Contractual and the Jasper Public Library Boards reviewed Goal 1 of their comprehensive plan. The plan was drafted last year and expands all the way through to 2016. Now, Goal 1 is to develop a library environment that is comfortable, enhancing, and relaxing. Some of the issues at hand include developing future plans for the Jasper Library, reaching out to younger folks, and an awareness campaign about the library. Contractual Library Board President Kathy Treader says the awareness campaign is needed in light of some misconceptions that exist about the libraries.
One thing that has come to our attention is that some people think that they have to pay for a library card. Apparently in other cities, other states, there is a fee. It is absolutely free. You do not have to pay for a library card. The services are free. The only thing you would ever pay for is if you don't return materials or if you're really, really late. But the fines are 10 cents a day, so if you're 3 days late with a book that you've had for 3 weeks, it's 30 cents. lot cheaper than buying that book is to begin with.
Another part of that plan is looking into what to do for the Birdseye Library. The branch received a $15,000 planning grant through Indiana Region 15 late last year for a feasibility study. Treader says the study will look into all options for the building, including expansion and renovation, or even building a brand new building. The branch is currently located inside the former Birdseye Town Hall. Treader says the Birdseye branch has done well, and she is hopeful that something will get done.
It's been very well received for the short hours that we offer it, but at least it gives a place for computers, for books, to gather, and there may be other options in the future or grants in the future. We built Dubois completely with grants. Everything was done with grants, so that would be a good way to go if we could for Birdseye.
In other business, both boards heard more on their 2015 budgets. The public hearing for the budgets is set for the September 11th Library Board meeting. The contractual library hearing will be at 4:30, and the budget hearing for the Jasper Library budget will be at 4:45. Finally this evening, young people in Dubois County looking to hone their leadership skills got the chance to hear some new perspective. Last night, the Dubois County Emerging Leaders hosted their summer social at the Tri-County YMCA in Ferdinand. The night included networking opportunities and the keynote speech from MasterBrand Cabinet's President Dave Randich. Randich spoke on how his own personal giving philosophy has changed through the years, as well as how MasterBrand as a company approaches philanthropy. Randich says MasterBrand is proud to be part of the county as a whole. He says everyone has to find their own personal philosophy when it comes to giving.
Well, I think in terms of personal giving, it's important over the years to try to learn what's important to you and try to stick to a plan. Find charities that you believe are helping the community and helping people in your community. Try to get involved in those charities so you understand how the funds are being used. And then if possible, and this is the hardest part, if you can give some of your own time, that makes a real difference as well.
Now, those in attendance also got a chance to tour the Tri-County YMCA. That tour was led by Executive Director Mike Steffi. Steffi says having the event at the YMCA fits well with the mission of the organization.
We're volunteer founded and volunteer led. I report to a board of directors, and under their direction we determine what things we do in the community. We run an annual campaign every year to help pay for scholarships for families and children who may not be able to afford it. And our whole culture is based on giving, whether it's time, talent, or treasure.
Now, last night's event was the second major event that Emerging Leaders has hosted this year. The first was held at Jasper's Azura Cafe back in February. Last night's event drew a few new people, and that served as a sign of encouragement for the Emerging Leaders Steering Committee. Steering Committee member Josh Gunselman is hopeful that last night's turnout will draw even more young professionals to the group in the future.
Hopefully the takeaway is that there is a local group of individuals who care about giving back to the community, and there's a place where they can meet those professionals and they can meet those people and kind of connect.
Emerging Leaders was originally established back in 2012. It was founded as a way for young adults to pool their funds together in order to strengthen Dubois County communities for the future. Members of the group commit to giving as little as $120 an individual or $180 a couple per year. Group members then vote on who will receive the group's grant money at the end of the year. For more information on Emerging Leaders, you can call the Dubois County Community Foundation at 482-5295. You can also go online to elgiving.org. All right, coming up after the break, your local forecast, sports with Kurt Guxell, and Inform with Terry Tanner. That's all up next here on the 18 WJTS News. Local people watching local people.